Land. We could still kill the Garderoth though. And we can kill Pair. This is flawless victory. This is absolutely flawless victory. Wow. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're in Standard playing Best of 1 with Jund Midrange getting our sacrifice on. If you guys find any value within the video, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up to help support the channel. Let's get right into it. Alright, Jund Midrange is holding a 75% win rate for me in the top 1000 Mythic, which is quite nice. Let's break down the deck and talk about exactly how it works. Starting out, we have 3 copies of Village Rites at instant speed. This is one CMC card, and as an additional cost to cast the spell, we do have to sacrifice a creature. This will allow us to draw 2 cards, which is quite nice. The instant speed allows us to interrupt any of their removal. For example, a Bonecrusher Giant or a Petty Theft, we can interrupt. Therefore, the spell does not resolve, and both the adventure and the creature go to the grave. 3 copies of Claim the Firstborn. This is a sorcery speed spell for 1. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less until the end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste until the end of turn. This is quite nice because we can just, take some of our opponent's creatures, we can attack with it, and then we can sacrifice it. There are multiple sacrifice outlets in the deck, not just Village Rites. Into our 2 drops now, we've got 3 copies of our Heartless Act. At instant speed, choose 1. Destroy target creature with no counters on it. Remove up to 3 counters from target creature. So, either or, you're going to be covered there. 3 copies of Skyclave Shade. This is a 3/1 in which we can kick for an additional 5 total. It cannot block, and if it was kicked, it will enter with an additional 2 +1/+1 counters on it. It also does have landfall, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if Skyclave Shade is in your graveyard and it's your turn, you may cast it from the graveyard this turn. 2 copies of Shredded Sails at instant speed. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact. Shredded Sails deals 4 damage to target creature with flying and or cycling for 2. Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger ×2. This is a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it's escaped. This is quite nice because we can go into full control by pressing Control and Alt, and then we can use something like Village Rites to sacrifice it. We can also use, a Woe Strider, which we'll talk about in a second, to sacrifice it before it sacrifices itself. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't discard a card this way loses 3 life. We can replay it from the graveyard via Escape by exiling 5 other cards from our graveyard and paying 4 mana. 3 copies of Shatterskull Smashing. This is a 2+X converted mana cost spell at sorcery speed, dealing X damage divided as we choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. If X is 6 or more, Smashing deals twice that damage divided as we choose instead. Now into our 3 drops. 2 copies of Tymaret Calls the Dead, a saga. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, then you may exile a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. The next upkeep is the same thing, and then finally, you gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. It's actually not your upkeep, it's your draw step, but, very close. But, some distinction is to be made there. 4 copies of our Woe Strider. This is a 3/2, and when it enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 white gold creature token. We can sacrifice another creature at instant speed to scry 1. Very, very nice ability here. We can also escape it, much like Kroxa, from our grave back into play for 5 mana and exiling 4 other cards from our graveyard. The Woe Strider will escape with an additional 2 +1/+1 counters on it. 4 copies of the Bonecrusher Giant. This is a 4/3, and when it becomes a target of a spell, it will deal 2 damage to that spell's controller. It has Stomp as the adventure at instant speed, dealing 2 damage to any target, and damage cannot be prevented. Into our 4 drops now. 3 copies of Rankle, Master of Pranks. This is a 3/3 with flying and haste, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose 1. Or any number, actually. Each player discards a card, each player loses 1 life and draws a card, each player sacrifices a creature. So, it's a bit of a smorgasbord here if you want. Typically, the discard is always really nice because you can, discard something you don't want. And, again, the draw is pretty good too here because we don't really care about our life total so much. And we're just looking to close out these matches as quickly as possible. So that extra damage plus the draw is always nice. The Akroan War is our last for CMC. It's another saga. When it enters play, gain control of target creature as long as the war remains on the battlefield. On our following draw step, until your next turn, creatures your opponent control attack each combat if able. And then finally, each tapped creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. So your opponent's creatures that attack will be tapped and then deal damage to themselves, which is pretty cool. And then finally, 2 copies of Korvold, Fae-Cursed King, a 4/4 with flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Korvold and draw a card, which is really nice, that draw engine in the mid game for us. 4 Fabled Passages, 4 Savai Triomes, 4 Cragcrown Pathways, and Timbercrown Pathways. My goodness. A single forest, 2 mountains, 6 swamps, and 2 Castle Locthwains, in which we can tap for 4, drawing a card, losing life equal to the number of cards in our hand after the draw. That's that. So your main objective here is to always have field presence, right? This is really easily accomplished through graveyard recursion, whether that be your Skyclave Shade being replayed through the landfall, Kroxa through the escape, Woe Strider through the escape, Tymaret exiling things to make zombies, right? So there's a lot of recursion to create a field presence from our grave, right? That's something that we should note. We do also have the ability to take our opponent's creatures, which is quite nice. Claim the Firstborn, the Akroan War, grabbing our opponent's creatures, and then we can sacrifice them before they go back with Village Rites or with our Woe Strider, right? So we do have a couple sack outlets there. Korvold can sack as well, but, it does have to be in the same turn or when he's attacking. So, it is rare in his case and, super reliable with the Woe Strider, and Village Rites is cheap enough that you can pop that off relatively easy as well. Removal in the deck, other than taking their creatures and sacrificing them ourselves, is the Shatterskull Smashing, which is quite nice, the Heartless Act, and then, of course, the Stomp through Bonecrusher Giant. You could remove creatures via Rankle sacrifice effect as well, but again, that's a little bit more rare of an occasion. That's really that. We can destroy artifacts or deal some damage to creatures with flying as well through Shredded Sails. Experimenting between Shredded Sails and Wilt to get those enchantments as well, because they can be pesky, but at the same time, hitting creatures with flying is always nice as well. That's that, you guys. 75% win rate, going 3 out of 4 in the top 1000 Mythic. It's a very late night for me. We've been crushing out way too much content. It's 1 in the morning. I actually fell asleep after last night. We were doing all of the spoiler videos and stuff, so I do need a video for the morning, so this is that. A little bit sleepy during our matches, but, nonetheless, it is still a great showing of Jund Midrange. And if you're unfamiliar, Jund is the color combination of red, black, and green, which you can clearly see here. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to help support the channel. If you want to go above and beyond, you can jump on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and purchase things through our Amazon link as well. Thanks again, whether this is your first video or you've been with the channel from the start. I really appreciate your time and attention. Enjoy, and we'll see you soon with our wrap-up thoughts. Okay, let's get after it. It is 12 a.m. currently, 12:10, 12. I fell asleep very early last night at like 6 during our premiere. In the evening, I kind of popped in for a second. I was like, hey guys, thanks for watching. And then I was like right back to sleep. Woke up at around 11, again at 11:30. So I was like, well, I am behind in content because, we went crazy with all of the spoiler videos. So I really do want to still stick to the 2 deck videos a day. I don't have one for the morning, which is in 6 hours, 5.5 hours. So we're up early today and looking to get some quick work done, and then we'll move on. Trying to find a Heartless Act here. Maybe it blocks and we can replay it from the grave. Also dead in play. Do a little Milleroni. 3 lands off the top is actually pretty nice, let's be honest. We don't have anything to exile though. Well, that's super janky. What's going on here? Death Touch, still not so bad. I'm going to decline that because I just want to play it. Right? We may want to Village Rites. Heartless Act doesn't really work on Crystalline Giant. We can remove the counters, but it's pretty awkward. Right, just drop the Vigilance Death Touch. I don't think that's really worth it. You know, let's see what else they drop here. A Relic. Interesting. So, with Lithoform, they're copying their giant for double counters. They get reach. And they grab their beloved Hexproof finally. Okay, so that's a thing. Are they going to play defensively? We need a land. Well, Village Rites is the one they... Oh no, I still want to trade with it. Down to 8. Let's look for a land. Land in play. This back into the fold. Right, replaying our Shade now. It's like a free draw. And, yeah. They need to gain some life. We need to kill them before Ugin. They're at 7 already. 8 next turn. Ooh, they get life gain. That's always good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can play our Korvold. Take our hit. We should trade with it at some point. Really? I think there's a counterspell. Probably. Let's pass our turn. They're going to try to sink their mana into something here, I think. And when they do, that's when we stomp. We also have Village Rites available to us as well. Right? Fully tapped. They've only got 1 mana through the Relic left. Counter to worry about. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Going first is great, but the land here is very poor, so we have to toss it. This looks better. Toss Korvold, play slow. Still looking pretty bad, but I don't want to mulligan anymore, right? I imagine we'll just claim and dust it, but Still getting in there. Doing something to start. We top deck a lad, that's nice. For our Calls the Dead. Nice. We could have played the Woe and then, you know, replayed it from the grave later if there's a counter spell. But I'm just looking to go after it. Good field presence in play as well. And there goes Kroxa. Yeah, that's kind of what we thought. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so tired. It's like the middle of the night for me. Milling? That's okay for us. I want to go with odd because if they event evens, then we lose everything. And of course, Kroxa has, or not Kroxa, Rankle has haste, so. Ooh, we lose a Korvold. Hopefully they spend their mana. And that dot easy takes most of the stuff. Oh, a second tutelage. My goodness. An enchantment too, not an artifact. Did they have Into the Story next turn? I will cry. Oh, it was a land. Shoot. This needs to be a black source. And we can play both of our shades. Decent hit, down to 11. Keep the land in hand. Another shade goes. Alright, we have 31. They Cyclo Triome. 4. 2 Wars Gone is good. They're useless. Alright, let's take the scry here. Land can go. One, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This game. Easy wins with Jund Midrange, you guys. I'm loving it. Going first with a great hand. Don't mind that. Bonecrusher Giant is live. That Claim the Firstborn is really nice. I'm liking that. I hate when my things get claimed, so it's going to be fun for a change to actually use it. I abandoned Claim the Firstborn when Priest of the Forgotten Gods was still around, because that's just like, I can't handle it. This is driving me insane. Our 4th land we should probably keep, right? They're gonna have us discard it, which is kind of sad. But big hit. Losing our claim here, I can only imagine. If they have creatures, they might take the wars. It depends, like, what the CMC is the thing. They do take the war, so it must be 4 or greater. They need to kill the Woe Strider, but Rankle sucks to leave there, right? Not the situation, see? But they've got a lot of removal in hand, so I'm a little worried. Let's let them pick, because we don't know beforehand. Alright, they do take. Let's get that damage in. Right, they just use their extinction event so we can go in with 2 odds and not feel too worried about it. It would be rare for them to have 2. Not impossible, but, you know, rare. They're looking at their graveyard, which is awkward. Alright, so obviously we're going to take our scry here. Calls of the Dead's not bad. Pull us towards a Kroxa, which is really nice. It also makes us the zombies. We give our 2/2 haste. And hit again. Down to 6. They need to get rid of our Kroxa. Oh, we don't have enough engrave yet. Oh, we will because of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So Rankle can go. Losing that sucks. But I still think it's worth it. The Kroxa in play, they have to discard. They need a 3rd extinction event. They have removal for it? Yeah. Okay. We lose our secondary war. They do have Barons to block. Simulate Crown. We can destroy. And now there's no Barons. That sucks. We can set up a scry for Locthwain. It would have been cool just to take it with the Akroan. Interesting. Up to 9. Really good for them. We lose Kroxa. Bowman play, not the worst. Two to the top. Bone Daddy in play. Barons I don't care about. The tome is annoying, right? That's 4 more life. And we're looking down Ugin Barrel anytime. Well, that is interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't just have killed it for 4 damage. Smile. Yeah. The Barons can go up. But I still think we just need to smash. Alright, at least we're getting rid of it now. They should hold it, I think, though, and not trade. They should just take the 4 damage. I'm pretty sure. Wow, they're gonna trade. You're gonna take their draw here? Looking for their Ugin, of course. That would have been helpful. Right? Remove some tokens from it. Make it a 0/0 so it dies. We can do that with the other Barons. Super awkward. We need a Rankle off the top. TikTok. TikTok. It's a hard game when you don't just have an Ugin to play. So we've got a nice play here. They do have the Barons. Right? They don't really want to trade with it because they know they get it back. Not a creature yet. And we might want to just Heartless Act the Rider because it's got life gain. This has life gain too, so they're just staying out of our reach, which is super annoying. Are they going to kill their own rider? Okay. Alright, cutting it in half. Nice. What do they take? Right, LSS Nightmare is really nice. The Rites is probably the better choice, but the Heartless Act can get them, you know, that damage output. Locthwain, I believe in you! Okay. Not so bad. Maybe we should have done that last turn. So we get hit pretty hard here for 7. Good hit, bro. Good hit, bro. It's in our turn. They draw here. They go to 11. Trying to avoid Ugin. Right? They're at 11. Their 12th land in play. They kill the Strider, we can scry the goat, then Rites the Strider. Oh my gosh. Barons is just gonna be big old boy here. Still feel like there's removal on the Strider. What's going on? Why are they just chilling? Let's take the draw. They must have instant speed removal. But I'd still rather the draw 2 than the scry 1. Draw 2. Right, because we could have got backed into not being able to use our Village Rites if there wasn't removal. I feel like there is. It's so awkward. What's happening? Oh, man. I'm gonna fall asleep. Right, typically I play in the morning when I'm super energized. Gain 6 life, hey? That's a little aggressive, isn't it? Oh. Let's cycle this away. Send that up top. We have quite the journey. Calls the dead in play. We're at 26. We should keep Rankle for Ugin. Right? You guys ready for Ugin? Choo choo! Oh gosh.
An opportunity
-3.
to act rashly
Leaves it at
is
4.
a chance
We can hit for 3.
to fail.
LOL. LOL. Land can go. Oh. Where's a Korvold when you need him? But we'll die to the Barons. We already do. Good game.
The essence of the multiverse.
I mean, yeah. Getting hit by an 11-11. Seal the deal in a 20-minute match. Okay, our land actually doesn't look too bad. Our opponent goes first. Triome, Locthwain, Shade, Triome is our sequence here to start. Maybe using our Heartless Act or Bonecrusher Giant for removal, depending. Fourth land is nice. That can open up an early Woe Strider, potentially. No, we stomp it. Immediately. You can play Bonecrusher Giant first if they don't play Tymaret colors. That might have been the end of their night. I think we just got... No, they're here. They're here. Is it a passage? Fabled Passage for 2 land. Play another Cobra. Something like this, I'm wondering. They paid life for us. They do want the 2 mana. 2 red mana. Robber of the Rich? Just shot. We can take their giants with our war. And we can sack it with our Woe Strider. Oh, just cultivate. Rule Ugin? What? What? Oh, Tymaret. Fun. Still chilling. Trying to bait that giant. We need to kill them before 7, which is already not going to happen. It's a nice hit, I'll admit. Here's their chance for an ultimatum. Has to be an Ugin. Lands. Ooh. We could still kill the Gargaroth, though. Right? Which is brutal. And we can kill Terror. This is flawless victory. This is absolutely flawless victory. Wow. I even. We could have had close to lethal by claiming something to give it haste. We're going to sacrifice their Terror with our Strider to finish the deal. They could still Ugin on us right here. Right? Nice. Really nice win right there. That was brutal. Alright, quick wrap-up thoughts. Jund Midrange is still fun. You know, I actually quit playing the Sacrifice when we lost Mayhem Devil, when we lost Priest of the Forgotten Gods. But it's still there, right? It's still really strong. Claim the Firstborn is as annoying as ever if you're playing against it as a creature-based deck. So it's pretty cool to actually get on the other side of the seesaw or the teeter-totter, whatever it happens to be. And, you know, live in this alternative reality in which we can play these cringe cards. I like it. You know, I had a lot of fun with this deck. Looking forward to playing it more, and we might even take it to best of 3 and reveal the super special sideboard for you guys as well. So thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon link if you can. And most importantly, go have yourselves an amazing day, and we'll see you soon in the next video.